Hi, everyone. I'm Heather Quick, owner and CEO of Florida Women's Law Group. Today, we're talking about something that so many women think about quietly, often long before they ever say it out loud. What does it look like to date again after divorce? For some women, the idea feels exciting, like a fresh chapter. For others, it feels terrifying, like stepping into a world that looks nothing like the one they left. And for many, it's both at the same time. You may be asking yourself, am I ready? How do I avoid choosing the wrong person again? How do I protect myself emotionally? And what does healthy even look like now? Today, we're going to go deep into those questions. We'll talk about true emotional readiness, the boundaries that matter, the red and green flags that are actually worth paying attention to, and how to date with intention, not from fear, not from pressure, and definitely not from old wounds. Watch this before you start dating again. Clarity creates confidence. Emotional readiness is not about how long you've been divorced. It's not measured in months or years. It's measured in healing, clarity, and stability. Many women come to me and say, everyone keeps telling me to get back out there. Let me tell you this. If you're dating because others are pressuring you, you're not dating from a grounded place. Emotional readiness means you're dating because you genuinely want connection. Not because you feel lonely, not because you want revenge, and not because you want to prove to your extra friends or the world that you still have it. You're ready when you can look at your past relationship and understand what worked, what didn't, what you ignored, and what you want to do differently, and maybe really how you want to show up differently. You're ready when you no longer see every man through the lens of your ex's behavior. You can separate who your ex was from who other people might be. That's a huge milestone. You're ready when you're willing to walk away from any situation that compromises your peace, even if it means being alone for a while. And you're not ready when dating feels like a distraction, or when you're hoping someone else will fill the emotional space your marriage left behind. Healing isn't about finding someone new. Healing is about strengthening yourself so you choose differently. Boundaries after divorce are essential because divorce teaches you so much about yourself and about what you will no longer tolerate. When you begin dating again, boundaries are not optional. They are your protection, your filter, your guide. Let's talk about a few examples because boundaries feel complicated until you see them in real life. So let's talk about communication boundaries. In the early stages of dating, one of the biggest mistakes women make is responding too quickly or giving too much emotional labor to someone they just met. If someone messages you constantly at night, you're not required to engage. If someone disappears for a few days and pops back up casually, you do not owe them access to you. A healthy connection doesn't demand your constant attention, especially when you're rebuilding your life, co-parenting, managing work, and rediscovering yourself. Your boundary might be as simple as, I don't respond after 9 p.m. Or, I prefer steady communication, not extremes. The way someone responds to that tells you more about them than anything else you could ask. Now let's talk about physical boundaries. After divorce, many women feel pressured by themselves or by the dating world to move quickly. There's no timeline you must meet, no rule book you must follow. Your pace is the right pace. Someone who tries to rush intimacy is not interested in you. They're interested in access. Emotional boundaries. This one is huge. After divorce, some women overshare too quickly because they crave connection or because they want someone to understand their pain. But deep emotional intimacy should be given slowly, deliberately, and only when consistent trust has been built. You're not required to share your entire past to justify who you are. Healthy people will respect your pace. Unhealthy people will pressure you, and that is clarity. Now let's talk about what actually matters. Not the little quirks, but behaviors that show emotional instability, control, or lack of self-awareness. Love bombing. After divorce, being adored feels intoxicating, but intensity early on is never about love. It's about control. If someone is making grand gestures saying, I've never met anyone like you after 2 dates, or pushing for serious commitment, immediately slow down. Healthy relationships build. They don't explode into existence. Inconsistency. This is one of the biggest red flags you should never ignore. Someone who is wonderful one day and distant the next is showing you exactly who they are. You deserve reliability, not confusion. And when somebody does show you who they are, believe them. It's hard to get wrapped up in wanting to believe there's something else. And that goes next to the victim mindset. If someone blames every past relationship on the other person, that's not a coincidence. That's a pattern. Divorce can teach you to spot that pattern instantly. Healthy adults can say, here's the role I played. Unhealthy adults say, everyone has done me wrong. boundary pushing. If your boundaries make someone irritated, defensive, or manipulative, you have your answer. You never need to explain why your boundary exists. A respectful person honors it. A disrespectful one challenges it. Discomfort with your parenting responsibilities. This is a big one. Anyone who resents your children or your time-sharing schedule is not your person. Your children are not in competition with your dating life, and anyone who makes you feel that way needs to go. Green flags often feel boring at first. Why? Because you're used to chaos. Divorce can create emotional hyper-awareness, where calm feels unfamiliar. But calm is the point. A green flag is someone whose communication is steady, someone who shows up when they say they will, someone who respects your schedule, your boundaries, and your needs. Someone who doesn't rush you or punish you for taking things slowly. And someone who makes your nervous system settle, not spike. Healthy love doesn't feel like adrenaline. It feels like exhaling. Intentional dating is the opposite of reactive dating. Reactive dating is dating because you're lonely, dating because your ex moved on, dating because you want validation, and dating because you're afraid of being alone. Intentional dating, however, is thoughtful, grounded, and aligned. It means you know your non-negotiables, your core values. It means you're not starving for attention, so you don't accept the bare minimum from anyone. It means you go slow enough to see the person in front of you instead of projecting what you hope they could be. It means you actually walk away when something compromises your peace, even if part of you wants to stay. It means you trust yourself. And for many women after divorce, that's the hardest, but the most important work. The question I want you to ask yourself as you date is this person adding to my peace or taking it away? If someone constantly disrupts your peace, that's all the information you need. Dating after divorce is not about starting over. It's about starting stronger with more self-awareness, more clarity, and more confidence than ever before. You get to choose differently this time. You get to date with standards. You get to prioritize peace. And you get to say no quickly and yes slowly. And you get to build a future from a place of strength. If this video helped you feel clearer and more empowered about dating again, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And remember, clarity creates confidence.